Okay, so I wanted to just say a few things here about you are always manifesting. Whether you accept this stuff or not, whether you know about it or not, you are manifesting. You're manifesting your 3D reality based on your beliefs, based on your expectations, based on your attitude. This can explain why some people's lives are a mess. Some people's lives are chaotic. All right. There's a lot of people out there with fatalistic. You could just see it in all kinds of social media posts. Go to any social media post on anything, anything to do with, say, the earth, the environment, animals. You'll see legions of people that express the most depressing outlook on everything. Humanity is evil. Uh, you know, people are bad. Just it goes on and on and on, and they wonder why their lives, many of them, are the way they are. If you look at how, say, very successful, say, monetarily successful people um, have outlooks on work ethic, prosperity, business, whatever, then it's no surprise why they're successful like that. But then again, those same people may have other preconceptions about, things like relationships and whatever, and that part of their life could be a mess. Um, Sometimes they may have it all together. So, what I'm saying is that we're always manifesting. You can manifest on autopilot. From the minute you're born, you're manifesting your reality. As you gain, uh, ideas and outlooks and expectations and things like that, you can see how one's life, the ebbs and flows of their life develop, right? So it's a fascinating thing to think about. That's all. So I like being philosophical about this stuff. I like really thinking about it. The whole idea of everyone in your life experience is you pushed out is a very fascinating idea as well. That everybody in your life is doing what they're doing because in some way you've asked them to do it, which means that this whole victimhood thing, you're not a victim of other people in your life. You may think you are. You may want to play the victim, in which case you're creating people to victimize you. Um, this is a very hard concept for a lot of people to understand. They even get mad, they get angry if you tell them about it. You say, what do you mean I'm doing that? How dare you tell me that I'm creating this stuff? Well, you are. You are. And it will bear out every time you really test it. Okay? So you can stick your head in the sand and, play the game of I don't I don't accept this stuff. But you're still going to go on manifesting because that's what we are, right? Your God self, you're manifesting your life according to your outlook, right? Your feelings, your assumptions about everything. So um, you are said um, from a personal perspective is I am, right? You are your God self. I am, right? I am creating everything in my life. I am creating my reality. Even myself, 10, 12 years ago, my life was completely different than it is now. And I was able to um, go back and analyze it. And definitely, I've proven to myself time and time again. I mean, Neville Goddard talks about how if you put Paul to the test, you will find it to be true. You can prove this stuff to yourself through experimentation. All right. I was first, well, I've been involved with New Thought stuff for a long, long time, but I hadn't gotten to the point where I really understood that I really was creating everything until a little later in life. I think about the lost opportunities had I not known what I know now 30 years ago, 40 years ago. So if you're young and you're discovering this stuff, you really, I tell a nephew of mine who's kind of into this stuff that, man, it is your oyster. The world, your future is your oyster. You can do whatever you want, and you've got the time. You're in the best time of your life to make these things happen. If you learn how things really work, and you train your mind, train your consciousness for deliberate creation, right? Deliberate, intentional manifesting, intentional creation, right? Um, so, but anyway, we're still manifesting our lives, whether we know it or not. But when you allow it to randomly happen, you get all kinds of crazy results, and you have to deal with those results, right? And it's not always pleasant. You may not enjoy it. So it comes down to wanting to enjoy your 3D reality, your 3D life, by consciously um, manifesting things that you want to experience. That's really where the game is fun, right, and fulfilling. But even 10 years ago, when I was exposed to, say, some of this stuff, it was incomplete. I started to ask myself questions, and man, my life, when I tell you transformed, really did an about face. And there were some painful things I had to go through during that transition. Just remember the phrase, be careful what you wish for, is true. It's truer than you can ever imagine. But on the flip side, sometimes you need to go through those things in order to come out into what you would judge as a better situation. Okay? So anyway, I want to talk to people. I like discussing these ideas and not just throwing up clips of Neville Goddard. Um, I may at some point have my face on these things, but I find it easy to do a voice recording when the inspiration hits and just have, a picture up on the screen or maybe an animated character speaking for me or whatever, something like that. I don't think it really matters, what I look like. Um, when I'm inspired to do that, I will. It's doesn't really matter. It's the message is what counts. So hopefully, these type of things are appreciated and resonates with someone out there. Um, there's so many people doing this now. You really have your choice of people to listen to. So the competition is fierce, is what I'm saying. And it is what it is. It is what we make it. I enjoy doing this, and I know that the enjoyment of creation is really, uh, that's where the fun really is. It's not about getting a million subscribers or views, but please, like and subscribe by all means. Share it with your friends and help me pick up my subscription numbers and my views, thumbs up, things like that. I'd appreciate it. Be very grateful for that. And from time to time, we'll talk about stuff like this. But just understand, you're always manifesting. You're always manifesting, whether you know it or not, whether you're conscious of it or not. Uh, just remember, the real fun comes in is when you can consciously, purposefully manifest what you want, rather than just letting it go like a haphazard autopilot. Because remember, the people who do not have the creative bent, they don't live creatively actively creating their lives are at the mercy of those who do, in a way. You fall under the spell, as Neville Goddard said it, of the people who are not imaginative fall under the spell of the people who have these awesome imaginations. Because imagination really does create reality. And I'm finding that so true more and more every day. You just, I guess, have to have faith. And it's weird. A lot of this stuff can be rooted in, you listen to a lot of religious things like you have to have faith. It's just that it's not the way the so-called, organized religion people have been saying all along. But the message has always been there. There's always been this underlying message, and now, you know, go listen to the Neville Goddard recordings to understand the scriptural basis of this stuff. And again, you don't have to be Christian. I know Neville was a Christian, so he spoke in a Christian context. This isn't about being a so-called Christian or becoming a Christian. If you happen to be Jewish or something else, the message here really transcends any specific religion. And as far as Neville Goddard is concerned, he deals with what Christians call the Old Testament, which is the Jewish Bible, which is where this stuff all starts. So, you've got to put certain personal biases aside when listening to that material. No one's trying to convert you. It's not proselytizing in any way. This is not a religion. This is not a church. It's nothing like that. If it was, I wouldn't be involved. It's just about the nature of reality. And the nature of reality is, as what Shakespeare said, what was it, in Hamlet, where they talk about, things are a lot stranger than you can imagine, that the true reality is so much more than you've ever dreamt of in your philosophy. I'm paraphrasing here, but these truths have been with us for eons, and so many of our enlightened thinkers, writers, playwrights, poets, whoever, scientists have known about this stuff, even if they didn't truly know where it was coming from. These ideas have been out there for a long time, and they all kind of line up perfectly when you step back and look at them. So I hope that this meandering talk is kind of useful in a way, and opens up your mind to the possibilities, and that you can truly accept that you are always manifesting your reality, and that all you need to do is to train your mind, to change your mental diet, to be strict with what you're thinking about, because what you're thinking about is manifesting, is creating your life and your circumstances. And let go of the negative, let go of the fatalistic, of the chaotic thoughts that you really don't want to experience, and think about joyful things. Think about things you want in your life, people you want in your life, circumstances you want in your life. Think about how great your boss is and how much they love you, not arguing with them in your head all day. Because when you argue with people in your head all day, it comes back at you. And trust me, we all have that experience, myself included. Even now, I'm speaking like I'm some enlightened teacher, but I have personal challenges as well. Mental diet can be tough. It can be tough, especially when you're trying to undo decades of undisciplined thinking. So anyway, I hope that you like my channel, like my videos, subscribe, and we can have these discussions in the future. You enjoy my little monologues, and maybe they resonate with you and get you thinking about these things as well. And hopefully I won't have everyone sounding like the same thing. That's my challenge here, is to just make it somewhat different every time, and we'll see what happens. So anyway, thanks for listening. I really appreciate you.